What's going on, YouTube? This is Jim Afanis, aka vypermajik, and who's that sexy titan in the background? Today, I'll be playing some Control. I actually had a really good match, and I don't know if it was because I was checking my corners, or I was lightning fast on my reflexes, or the control stick toppers I've been talking about, or, no offense to my opposition, maybe they weren't the best. But hey, I did really good, so check it out. What I wanted to talk about today was the state of Destiny and where I'm hoping the game will be going in the future. Now, I am obviously a big fan of the game. My videos are pretty much dedicated to this game as of late. I am pretty much obsessed with it, as most people are. And I do know that some people have gone on to start playing in Shadow of Mordor. But hey, let's face it, Destiny was the first real game of the fall launch. And you know, all video game fans know, that fall is when things start picking up. So of course people are going to go off and play Shadow of Mordor. And when Assassin's Creed Unity comes out, people are going to check that out. You got Far Cry coming out. You got the new Call of Duty coming out. You got Smash for the Wii U. I mean, come on, I'm missing about a zillion of them because there's so many. So it doesn't surprise me that the numbers are quote-unquote dwindling and it's not as hot as a game as it was. Of course. However, that's just going to happen. I can't compete or dispute that fact. But what I am wanting to talk about today is, for the people that are left, that are still invested in the game, that love this game, what do we expect to happen going into the future? And I'm focusing primarily on the DLC that is going to be coming soon. Now, I did buy the Ghost Edition. So I did get the first two DLCs for free. I'm not sure what the price is as a standalone. I have seen some videos online from Reddit and some other sources where people have somehow seen some of the DLC missions or some of the new areas to explore. Not actually in-game, just on the map. And as you've noticed probably if you went through the Cosmodrome, there's a few places where the description of the map will change. You'll be in a new area. One of them is called the Jovan or Jovia complex. And you can't get in. So it wasn't surprising when I saw these leaked images of the DLC that was one of the areas you'd explore. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. DLC's coming. We know it's coming. Whether or not you like DLC, that's another story altogether. I don't, by the way. But hey, I wanted the Ghost. I got the Ghost. I got some DLC. So, the actual gameplay of this, for me, is fine. I like the way Destiny looks. I like the way it feels. Now, there are some tweaks that could happen. I'm not saying it's perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And thankfully, the folks at Destiny are in agreement with us on that. I think the random number generation loot system sucks. I can't tell you how frustrating it is when I play time after time after time, grinding for just a chance at something good, and I just get garbage. And I know they're going to work on that, and that's good to see. And there's some other gameplay mechanics that are a little wonky. I saw a video of you can actually sit down during one of the Warlock special moves, and it doesn't even hurt you, which is hysterical. And there's some other bugs and glitches and that sort of thing, and that's going to get worked out. I mean, look at a lot of games that go through that growing pain. I was just having a discussion with one of my buddies last night about this. Take a look at Diablo. Look at how different Diablo is. And I'm not talking between Diablo and the expansion, just Diablo in general as it's gone through in Diablo 3 and all the patches they've made. Now, obviously with the expansion, boy, did they change a lot. And that is an entirely different game. Loot is completely different. Gameplay is completely different. Objectives, modes, everything. So I fully expect that Destiny is going to go through some growing pains, and some of the things that made sense on the drawing board when the folks at Bungie were putting the game together are obviously going to be changed, and that's fine. The one thing that I'm most concerned about, and by the way, those will play out as they'll play out. They'll make changes. They'll go too far on one direction. They'll dial it back. They'll make assault rifles stronger or weaker or scout rifles this or that. And hey, that's good and well. The game's going to figure that out and sort that out. Nothing's perfect. Balance is always an issue, especially when you get into competitive gameplay. So, I mean, look at Warcraft. That game's been out for 10 years, and they still haven't figured that shit out. So, that's okay. But the thing I am most concerned about is the story. And I can say that as a huge fan of this game, I've clocked over 100 hours easily into this game by now. I don't even know if I've played all the story missions. The way that the story was put together with this kind of hodgepodge of I don't know, loose objectives and not really a definition or an explanation of why things are happening, and the god-awful dialogue where people will say, hey, I know you have a lot of questions, we'll deal with it later, I don't have time to explain. You know, my guy is 100 hours into this game. I've quote-unquote saved the Earth. I've killed off people on Mars. I'm going into Crucible and screwing around, supposedly, to train my guy for future battle. I guess. I don't know. They've never really explained that to me. So, don't you think it's time we actually get some story injected in here? I mean, could we have a little more explanation? Who are the Awakened? What did they awaken from? Why am I an Exo? Who's the Queen? Who's her bodyguard? I mean, there's thousands and thousands of stories that are not told in the core game, and it's really frustrating. And, you know, you look at, like, Halo. Hey, look at Halo 4, for example. They put a wrapper around the multiplayer, and they explained why you were doing it. And it actually had story missions tied into it. Now, Titanfall tried that. Whew, that didn't work. But my point is there's a lot of lore that is in this game that is not in this game. And yes, I know you got the Grimoire or Grimoire cards that are there, but that's just not cutting it. And everyone agrees. It sucks. We need more. So what I want to see from the expansion, and what I hope this game drives towards, is some actual story elements that do a better job of explaining what's going on. Now, I have said in my review, and I still stand by it, this game sells a great experience. Playing with your buddies, shooting against nameless, faceless aliens, and pulling off a really slick move, or using your super at the last moment, or grabbing some heavy ammo to save the day, is a ton of fun. And the gameplay and the graphics are spot on. The sound effects are crisp. It feels good. It's rewarding when that happens. Now, the loot that comes afterwards, not so much. But those, in the heat of the battle, those moments, that's a lot of fun. So I think Destiny and Bungie as a whole has always done a great job of selling the experience. But now we need to go back, and they need to go back, and really fine-tune what the hell that means. And I need to understand some of the story. When I played with the Master Chief, there were elements of the story that were really odd. And I'm talking about Halo 3 and the whole Gravemind thing. That was kind of bizarre the first time I went through that. And I was trying to figure out why am I hallucinating pictures of Cortana. It was weird. I think we all agree that was weird. There's some things, I'm not saying it's perfect. But my point is, I knew why I was doing what I was doing with the Master Chief. And I really didn't like those aliens invading. And it made sense to me why I was fighting. And it made sense, and there was a goal we were driving towards. We're missing that in Destiny, and we need to bring that back. So I'm hoping that this next DLC injects some serious story into the game. We'll find out in a few months, and I hope the folks at Bungie are really sitting down and taking a hard look at this. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. None of the above. It's all right. Until then, I will see you guys on the other side.